All right, guys, welcome back to Crunch Time, the show where you get the best NBA DFS picks each and every day. Today we have a nice 8-game slate here, joined as always with Chrissair DFS. I think you had your mic unmuted near the end, Chris, a bit early, but not too early. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I had my mic unmuted. Just noticed. Just came back from the dentist.
Oh, any cavities?
No, but yeah, that's why I'm just entering my contest right now.
Okay. What do we have to do? We got some success to go over, so let's do that. Today's Friday, actually, so I know people get excited about Fridays. Do we have a name for Fridays, Chris? We got Takedown Tuesday. What's Friday? Payday Friday? Friday Payday? I think I saw that once.
No, it's to start with an F. I think it's Free Money Friday.
You think? Like you just made that up, you mean?
I think Turnburn said it.
Oh, Free Money Friday?
Mm-hmm.
I like that one. Yeah, Free Money Friday. It's a good one. So we'll get some free money here with these DFS picks, right, Chris?
Yep.
That's the plan. Yep. Let's go over the Discord.
I'll send you my links as well.
Pardon?
I said I'll send you my links. I'm getting screwed by this captcha on FanDuel. I can't do anything. So
really?
That's why it's taking a little longer.
Yeah, you should message them. Maybe they'll turn off captures if you ask them.
Yeah, I probably should.
Actually, you should message them. Before we do that, though, we can go over the chat here. So we had Brent in here, first one of the day. What's up, Brent? We got new addition in here with the flex emoji. Royal King in here with the money bag. And a question right off the bat, Chris, from new addition. It's a FanDuel lineup, so maybe just if you don't like anyone here, you could just say it quickly here. Kyrie, Dame, Clarkson, Lou Will, Brown, Bogdanovich, Clark, Portis, and Allen.
I'd try to get some Bucks in there. Giannis is questionable. I don't think he plays. There were no Bucks in that lineup, right? I didn't hear Drew or Middleton.
No.
Yeah, I would try to get
just
some
Portis.
Bucks. Portis is good. Definitely Portis is a great play, but if you're playing Portis, you might as well play Middleton and Drew as well, because if you're playing Portis, you're assuming that Giannis is out. Ingles as well, have him on the cover, love him on FanDuel today. Clarkson, Alize Johnson, he's actually in play today. I think he went for a crazy amount yesterday for the Nets. Great game environment there, so that's one of my favorite games to target. But yeah, we'll obviously get into all these games, my favorite plays, all that good stuff on the show here.
And my favorite plays too, Chris. How did Mike James do?
He didn't start, so we didn't play him. I don't think he did too well.
Did he not get a run, or he just didn't do well?
I think he got some run. I was only watching the first half. Let me see. He played I think he played at least 12 minutes in the first half. Mike James, 25 minutes, 1 point, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 turnovers, 0 for 7 from the field.
Yeah.
So probably around 10 fantasy points.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Looks like I'm getting your contest here. DK coming up or no? Not yet.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go over this, I guess, while I wait for that. So we got Nick up first, 127 into almost 300. NBA main slate on DK. Solid stuff. Ultra boosted, 33, 65 on DK as well. And you, Chris, 2.1 into 4K. So that's money printer for you. What's that guy's name? Jerome Powell from the Fed, Chris.
Who's that?
Jerome Powell, I think, from the Federal Reserve, prints all the money. That's you right here, printing, money printer. 2K to 4K, so that's awesome. And then DK, 1,400. I'll round it down into 3K. I'll round it up. So solid stuff out of you. You have a 2-point higher score than these other guys up here.
I think I might have taken my screenshot after, maybe before. Might have been a stat correction, but I think it was the same lineup.
I think it is. Then we got Turn and Burn here up next, 318 into 707.20. So that's nice stuff. Everyone has this 334, but the same lineup here. Snow here, 82, 170.33. Solid stuff there. Little Biscuit, Dinda, 51 into $100.40 on FanDuel main slate NBA. And then I'm guessing, yeah, this looks like the same one. Main slate DK, $69 into $137. T-Bay here, I mean, he can't be stopped right now, Chris. He's on fire. This man's on fire. $10 to 20. It looks like I think he started entering a bit of tournaments, like a dollar entry in his GPP. Just a $1 tournament entry in his, contest allotment, allocation, whatever you want to call it. So that's good to see. But he's definitely grinding his way up. I love to see that. Do you think next season we'll see him at like the $30 range entry fee? 20?
You never know. Yeah, I mean, he's been playing the optimal, so I guess he's bringing good luck to the optimal with his, I don't know, his fantasy luck.
Oh yeah, he's definitely, when it comes to fantasy basketball, he's definitely, like, hands down, if there's anyone luckier than him, I'd want to meet them. But this guy Thomas over here, he is so lucky. Like, if you play a head to head with him in a weekly fantasy long league where it's like a week long head to head, this guy, like, your whole team gets injured, and then all of his guys, like, he picks up a bum from the free agency, and then that guy is like an all-star performance, has an all-star performance for Thomas all week long. And then all of your guys are just out, and he's just been doing this to every single team he's been playing in the season-long fantasy league that I'm in with him. Like, it's just so consistent that it's just insane. I don't know how he does it, but yeah, I think you're right about that luck, bringing it to DFS now too. So shout out to Thomas for that. Yeah, solid results out of him. We got Aiden here, just posted it now. He did NHL main slate 57 to 120, NBA main slate 57 to 117. All-day baseball slate, 10 to 20 on FanDuel, and then DK, baseball 50 to 90. Night slate basketball, he did 20 to 41. And then, what is this? This was today, single game, MLB, $10 to $20. So Aiden's always at it, every sport, every slate, every day, every site as well. Let's go back to your contests, Chris, over here. Give me a second. Let me open. Oh, I think I already did open them up. So yeah, FanDuel first, $2,100 to $4,000. What was? This is it, right? Yeah. What was the secret here, Chris, yesterday?
I mean, everyone here played well, except for Porzingis, who obviously got hurt. Only 12 fantasy points. So I mean, it was a crazy score here. Lineup, I was kind of talking about it in the Discord before the slate locked. I think the decisions were mainly point guard 2 and then the 2 shooting guard slots, because obviously Brunson was going to be chalky with no Luka. This lineup obviously didn't have Brunson, but still it had Hardaway Jr. and Shamet, who both played very well. They actually both beat Brunson, and they were both cheaper, so that was good. Killian Hayes had a solid game, 2 points only, but 11 assists. So if he scored like 10, 15 points, he would have had a massive game. For his price, he was the low-owned guy here. Did his job for 3.9, so that was good. So it was mainly those 3 positions that were up for debate yesterday, in my opinion. There was like a mixture of Lowry. Some people went Lowry there, and then shooting guard Brunson, obviously, like I mentioned. Armani Brooks was in play. So yeah, that was the main decision here on FanDuel. I think everything else was kind of, I think, like optimal here.
Nice. And then BK Ryder over here, Chris. Is there anything else you want to go over? I guess you did it here.
Yeah, so I mean, this lineup didn't have Cat. Obviously, it spent up for Lowry instead of Killian Hayes. Lowry had a good game. Had Draymond as well. I liked having Isaiah Stewart. I was talking about him a lot on the show. Isaiah Stewart beat him straight up. But yeah, this lineup won, I guess, because Cat didn't have a great game and Hernan Gomez had a big game.
Yep. And then what happened to KP, Chris Zingas? Is he fool's gold?
I'm not too sure. Like, I was watching the first half. He went in obviously at the start of the game. He came out like 6 or 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Then he didn't come back until like 5 minutes into the second quarter, and then they took him out with like 2 minutes left in the second quarter. And then I think he started the third quarter and got hurt or something. But yeah, we got news before that he wasn't going to be on a hard minutes restriction, so maybe they were just limiting him. Because I mean, it was a very weird tweet that we got yesterday regarding that situation. But he was very chalky. I think he was like 90+% owned in my 50-50, so it really didn't matter having him there. I didn't have him on DraftKings, so that helped.
Yep. Got Ronald Jones in here, says, "What's up, brothers? What's up, man?" Royal King in here. He says Kevin Porter Jr. Went off 50 real points. Chris, did you see that game?
No, I didn't watch the game at all, but I mean, yeah, that was crazy. 50 real life points, 11 assists. I think Harden even tweeted about him. I think I retweeted that. So
Oh yeah, I saw. Harden should. He's taking over the James Harden role. Like he took over the presence on the hardwood and also at the strip clubs. I think like the day before yesterday, he had like I don't know, some sort of altercation at the strip clubs with who was with him? It was another guy on his team. Was it Tate?
Sterling Brown.
Who?
Sterling Brown.
Oh yeah, Sterling Brown. Yeah, my bad.
That was like a month ago though.
Oh, was it a month ago? Yeah. I mean, still, Harden rule definitely taken care of out in Houston, so that's good though. 50 points, that's a big game, and they took down Milwaukee, so that's pretty nice. Is he a solid player?
Yeah, he's very good. He's very skilled. Only thing with him is off the court stuff, but on the court he's very talented. Also 11 assists, so not just 50 points. He had 11 assists as well. Giannis obviously got hurt right away in that game. I think 1 minute in he got hurt, and then he went out, didn't come back, so that helped them. But yeah, this guy is a beast.
Yeah. Jean Rondo says, "Wonder what it feels like to be a Cavs fan. Trading Kevin Porter Jr. for second round pick, and wow, he's only 20."
Yeah, that's nuts. I mean, if you're a Cavs fan, you had LeBron James, so you can't really complain. It's like you're a Raptors fan, you had that championship run, so you can't really complain anymore.
Wait, but you can complain about poor decision making, no?
Yeah, but I mean, like, I'm just saying they're a bad franchise overall. Always one of the bottom teams in the league.
Well, come on, let's be real. Toronto's not a bad franchise. It's just poor.
No, I'm talking about Cleveland.
Oh yeah. I guess Cleveland is, but yeah, Toronto's just not like a sought out destination for NBA players. At least before for a while.
Toronto's good for sure.
Pardon?
Toronto's good. I think they have a good front office, but I think Masai Ujiri is going to leave.
Yeah. That's kind of sad. Don't want to talk about that. But yeah, DK. Let's go back here, Chris. You like to do this, so DK, you crushed there as well. $1,400 to $3,000. Second place over here, Chris. Seeing some sharp players with the same lineup as you here.
Yeah, this was a giant train. So
yeah, Scotty
this is
here.
like a 110 man 50-50 or double up. How many people landed on this lineup? Scroll down. I think it was like 50 people.
Yeah,
So
40.
up to 44. So that means that 40 people pretty much landed on this lineup. But yeah, this one kind of built itself. Like you can get Brunson and Hardaway together. Johnson was starting for the Nets, so you could easily get him. Bazemore was just way too cheap here. Had him in my core. Hernan Gomez as well. And then you kind of just filled out the rest with the studs. So KD was a lock. Curry, talked about him a lot. And then Jokic was the last piece. And whenever you can get Jokic as a last piece, that lineup is definitely solid.
Yep. I guess since it's so chalky, all the sharp guys are on here. Probably not go over anything else. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary. Just a obvious build, I think.
Yeah, super obvious. What would you say to anyone who didn't land on that, Chris?
Probably not building for the optimal team. I don't know.
Okay. New addition here, Chris. He says, something's telling me Robert Williams goes off tonight.
I wonder what that is. What is telling him that?
Maybe Brad Stevens texting him?
He's coming off the bench now, so I don't want to play Robert Williams. Tristan Thompson is clearly the guy that Brad Stevens likes, and I mean, the guy who the coach likes goes a long way.
Jean Rondo here, he says something that I don't know what he's talking about, but he says, wow, Kevin Porter Jr. is from Seattle, Washington. How about the 32nd NHL team, Seattle Kraken? What is that?
That's the expansion team.
Why are they expanding?
Um, More money? I don't know.
Are
You
they?
don't know about the Kraken?
Oh, whoops. Closed the browser. One sec.
You don't know about the Seattle Kraken?
No.
Yeah, they're gonna take players from a bunch of teams. It's like the Golden Knights. They did the same thing. They expanded.
Wait, they steal players from teams?
Yeah.
How does that work?
I don't know exactly the exact rules, but you can protect a lot of players, and you have to leave like 3 or 4 unprotected. But some of the young guys, I think maybe on like rookie contracts, are not eligible to be picked. Yeah, you got a solid team like Vegas. They were an expansion team, and right off the bat, they were one of the top teams. I think they made it to the finals in their first year, maybe second year.
That's kind of crazy. Did the other teams get upset about that?
No, I mean, I don't know. You have to kind of plan for it. Like good front offices, they kind of plan for it. Like make sure they line up their contracts so that they only have bad players who are exposed.
Oh, they
Stuff
had
like
like a heads up for the expansion? How
that.
many
Many years,
years?
yeah. Like at least a few.
And then, so there's 32 teams now. Who's the 31st team? Was that the Vegas?
I guess.
Nice. Yeah, maybe we can get an expansion NBA team here, Chris, in Vancouver.
Yeah, possibly in the future.
Let's see what else we got. Rono says NHL is growing. NBA needs to have Vancouver as their next expansion team. I don't know if that will happen. To be honest, I don't know. What do you think, Chris? You said possibly, but
Yeah, I mean, I think it could happen.
I don't know. Yeah, let's get into the slate, Chris. So 8 games here, 16 teams to choose from, so that's nice. Seeing some back-to-backs, we have that. Seeing some teams that we don't like to target players against, seeing some teams that we love to target players against. Also seeing LeBron as a game-time decision today, Chris. So it's an interesting slate. What's your favorite news here so far that you kind of news that we already know about that we just like?
It's going to be the Nets guys because that's the best game by far. It's a 241 over under. Next highest is 229, and then after that, it's all in the 220 range. So the Portland Brooklyn game is my favorite game to target. KD is out today, obviously on the back end of a back-to-back. Kyrie is back, so we have a lot of interest in spending up for Kyrie. I think he's the guy on both sites. Really, pretty easy to get to today. Obviously, we have Westbrook playing once again, so we always like him on DK. And then Utah, they're missing Conley again. They're missing Mitchell, of course. So we have interest in them. And then the news that we're waiting on is going to be Giannis. I think I don't know what he's listed as, probably questionable, but I don't think he plays today. I didn't see the injury yesterday, but he got hurt 1 minute into the game, like I said earlier, didn't come back. So I don't think he plays today, but we'll have to keep an eye out for that one.
Yes, we will. Adrian here says Porter, Garland, Sexton. Those 3 would have been nice together in the Cavs lineup, Chris.
Yeah, probably a little undersized, but I'd probably take, maybe it's recency bias, but I'd probably take Porter over Sexton.
Would you have to get rid of Sexton then?
I think so. I think they'd be too small if you have all 3 of them.
Isn't Sexton not like a team player as well? Like I've heard some criticism out of you, I think, that he doesn't pass. Like he just chucks. Like I think Jarrett Allen got pissed at him once.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know. That's just what I see. Like I see the same thing with John Wall and Christian Wood, but I think they're friends. So I don't know exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of like us playing basketball against each other or with each other. You always get mad at me for not passing. Austin here says, "Are we playing that Elize kid? How do you say his name? Elize?
I like that. You said it. Elize Johnson, I think.
Yeah,
Or
Elize.
Elize. I'm not sure.
You
I
said
think Elize,
something
actually.
different, so I was just wondering if I was saying it wrong again.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's call him. I think it's Elize. We can pull it up.
Elize.
I don't think it's Elize.
Is it Johnson? Elize Johnson?
Yeah.
Doesn't he look like another NBA player over here?
What do you mean?
Looks like someone
Jimmy
else.
Butler?
Huh?
Jimmy Butler?
Is it Jimmy? No, someone on the Rockets.
Kind of looks like Jimmy Butler. Click on him. Click on
Like,
that same picture. There's another one. That one, right? Kind of looks like Jimmy Butler. Similar hair sometimes. That looks like Jimmy Butler with that hair.
Alize. Alize.
Alize.
Alize. Alize. Alize. Alize. Aliza. Justin says Aliza.
Definitely not Aliza.
He says AL dash I dash ZA.
No,
Aliza.
it's Z or Z A Y. You can see it here.
Yeah, and then Justin's calling me
Alize.
out saying I'm bad with the pronunciations. He says it's a long A.
Yeah, Alize.
Alize.
So it's a long A. He probably means at the end, right?
Alize.
So you add the
Alize.
Y. You add the Y at the end, and you get the same. You get the same thing as a long A.
Yeah, now he says it right. Now he says Alize. 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 I don't know about that. I'm just going to keep saying Alize.
No, it's Alize.
Alize.
Yeah, just like that.
Okay, we got Alize. Alize Johnson. Got Bitatse. It's kind of similar, actually. Bitatse.
What was his question?
Alize.
What was Austin's question?
Oh, he's just saying for playing Alize.
Yeah, I think you have to, like, it's just a spot where, I mean, he put up 2020 last game, 50 fantasy points. Really good matchup, best game environment. He's the minimum on both sites. Everyone's going to play him. So even if he sucks, it's not going to hurt you. So I think it's a spot where you just play him.
Oh, and Justin here says it's like Al and Chris. Alize.
Yeah, Al. It's like Al. We saw it in the basketball reference. It said Al.
Yep. Rondo says nicest guy in the league. Jarrett Allen even got angry at Sexton.
Yeah, I remember that.
And Austin says it's the alcohol lol. Brent is laughing as well. Yeah, Alize. The alcohol, it's a trap. For who? Who's having the alcohol here? Yeah, let's go into the slate, Chris. So first up, Atlanta Hawks, 76ers. Atlanta side, we got DeAndre Hunter out, Bogdanovich questionable, Capella questionable, Ice Tray questionable, and then Kevin Huerter out, Tony Snell probable. Projected starters, Trae Young, Bogdanovich, Solomon Hill, John Collins, and Capella. Any interest here, Chris, on the Hawks side today?
I mean, all these guys are all questionable, so I have no idea. We're gonna have to wait and see what happens here. But yeah, I don't know. Like, if Trae Young plays, I'm not gonna be interested in these guys. If all three of these guys miss, Trae Young, Capella, and Bogdanovich, I'll probably have some interest in Lou Will once again. But yeah, I don't know. It's just nothing here that interests me as of now.
Oh, he's saying it's the alcohol, Chris, the Alize alcohol.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, me too. But I remember people talking about that last time. I think we got it, though. It's Alize. We got it. Got it down, guys. So no need to worry about that anymore. 76ers, don't see anything listed for them. So healthy squad today. We have Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Danny Green, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid projected to start, Chris. Anything on this side here?
I mean, when they're all healthy, I usually only have one interest in one of these guys. Their big guy in Joel Embiid. He's 10.2K on DraftKings, 10.2 on FanDuel as well. So I like him a lot in tournaments. I think he has a lot of upside. They've been in blowouts recently, so if you look at his game log, he hasn't been playing too well. But they beat the Hawks by 40 points last game. They beat the Thunder by 30 points the game before. And then the game against Milwaukee, I think that was a back-to-back for them. So he only played 26 minutes in that one as well. So if you're playing Embiid, don't look at the game log. I think it's a pretty good buy low spot for him, honestly. I like the matchup against Atlanta, especially if the other guys play on the other side. I think it's more likely that the game will stay close. So I don't mind Embiid as the last piece. Like I always say with these centers, they're more viable on DraftKings if you're playing them in cash games just because you can fit multiple. I don't think you need to go up there on FanDuel, but maybe on DK, just because I think there's a lot of value on this slate right now. So I don't mind spending up for Joel Embiid on DK and cash games.
Okay, let's head on over to the next one. Austin says, Alize says it's what his parents said made him.
Oh, okay. I don't know about that one, but yeah, I get it.
Washington, Cleveland, Chris, up next. So I don't think Washington has anyone listed as out. So healthy squad here as well. So we got Westbrook, Neto, Beal, Hachimura, and Alex Len projected to start there. Any interest here, Chris?
Yeah, so I mean, with this team, it's always two guys, and then Brad Beal. He's just not as interesting anymore at this price point. We were getting him for around 8.5K on FanDuel for like a week or so. Now he's 9.5 over there, or sorry, 9.4, 9.8 on DK. So he's a little too expensive for me. When you could just go up to Westbrook for $1,000 more. Westy is 11K on both sites. Like I always say, he's more viable on DraftKings. You can fit more. You can fit him in more positions. Scoring system fits him better. So I definitely don't mind spending up for him on DraftKings. Like I said, we have a lot of value over there. You can probably even fit 3 studs in cash games on DraftKings. So you can play Kyrie, Embiid, and Westbrook together. I think that's viable today. So yeah, Westbrook, he's always in play just because of that floor he has, the ceiling he has. Just always seems to get over 60 fantasy points. Playing a ton of minutes. They're fighting for the playoff position. So he's pretty safe here today. I like him a lot on DraftKings. FanDuel, like I said, it's a little harder to get to him, but he's definitely in play there as well. If you want to pair him with Kyrie Irving, I don't mind that at all. I think that's viable. But the thing is, like, if Giannis is out, Drew is going to be a lock as well. So I think the pairing is going to be Kyrie and Drew Holiday if Giannis is out. So yeah, that's what makes it tougher to play him on FanDuel. But I love him in tournaments over there if you want to play Westbrook.
Okay. Who's the highest floor player, Chris?
I'd say Russell Westbrook.
Russ, Irving. Do you think Irving is actually higher than like Giannis and Embiid?
On this slate, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the superstar. He's the lone superstar. Giannis, I don't think he's going to play, but Embiid's playing with Tobias Harris. He's playing with Ben Simmons. Kyrie is just playing alone with Alize Johnson.
Yep. Alize. Okay, other half on Cleveland, we have Hardenstein out, Lamar Stevens out, Nance Jr. out, Dellavedova out, and then Colin Sexton questionable. Projected starters: Garland, Sexton, Coro, Kevin Love, and Jarrett Allen. Is Jarrett Allen's price, is it right where it should be now on both sides, Chris, or is it still a little cheap somewhere?
I think it's still a little cheap on FanDuel. On DraftKings, he hasn't really been in play for us at all. I think he's 7.4 on DK, so don't love that price tag. But I think on FanDuel here, 6.8K, I don't mind that. We have some other centers as well, but I think he's definitely in the mix in cash games. Great matchup here against the Wizards, one that we always like to target. So, I mean, all these guys are viable. They're just kind of priced up now. Sexton, I think he's going to be back today. He's currently questionable. He's been out for the past week or so. So that kind of hurts guys like Osman. You can't play Osman anymore. Garland, he's priced as if Sexton was out. Maybe Kevin Love, 5.7 on FanDuel. I don't hate that, I guess, but main guy here is going to be Jarrett Allen on FanDuel for 6.8. But like I always say, center, you can't really ever lock someone in at center on FanDuel because you can only pick one of them.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. So the Spurs against the Celtics. San Antonio side first, Trey Lyles out. Projected starters: DeJounte Murray, Devin Vassell, DeMar DeRozan, Keldon Johnson, and my boy Jakob. Anything on the Spurs side, Chris?
Yeah, I don't think they're necessary here on this slate. Maybe DeJounte Murray. He's been playing very well. I think he put up 60 against Washington 2 games ago, and then last game against Miami, he put up 56 on DK. So I don't mind him for 7.5K over there. FanDuel, he's 8.3, so that's probably a little too expensive. But yeah, he's probably the only guy that interests me, and that's on DK.
Okay. Other half, Boston, Kemba Walker out, Marcus Smart back in. Projected starters: Smart, Fournier, Brown, Tatum, and Thompson. Anything over there, Chris?
Maybe Brown, maybe Tatum. But I don't love the matchup here. It's a decent one. They're implied to score 113, so I think that's lower than their average. So I don't know if last time we wanted to play them because both Kemba and Smart were out. But now I don't know. We're just loaded with value here on this slate. We have a ton of good plays. These guys are viable. Like still pretty cheap for Tatum and Brown, especially on FanDuel. Smart as well. I think he's viable. So yeah, the thing is, it's just a little hard for me to pick who it's going to be. I like them a lot. It's going to be Brown and Tatum if I am playing any Celtics, but just a little hard on this slate, I think.
Okay, let's go to the next one. We got the Magic against the Grizzlies. Let's go over Orlando first. So we have Chuma Kiki out, Otto Porter Jr. out, Michael Carter Williams out, and then T. Ross marked as doubtful, so pretty much out. Projected starters: Cole Anthony, Gary Harris, Dwayne Bacon, James Ennis, and Wendell Carter Jr. Anything, Chris, on Orlando with a few of their guys sitting, or not really?
No, I don't have any interest here. Just a big slate. Don't need to play Orlando. They spread it out. They're like the Thunder now. Play a bunch of guys. If one guy's hot, like Hampton, that'll just hurt someone else, and you don't know who it's going to be. It could be Randall as well. They got Wagner now, so I don't know. There's just nothing here that I want to go after on this slate.
Okay. Memphis side, we have Grayson Allen marked as doubtful, Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr. out. Projected starters: Jaw, Desmond Bain, Dylan Brooks, Kyle Anderson, and Jonas Valanciunas. John Morant, Chris, priced up, I guess. Like he's had a good stretch recently, but still quite volatile, right? Anyone on the Grizzlies side that you like?
So who's actually projected to start instead of Allen? Who do you have?
Desmond Bain.
Yeah, so that's the only interest I have in this team. It's probably the starter here for Grayson Allen. It could be Melton. It could be Bain. I mean, even if Melton's coming off the bench, I don't mind him here. He obviously benefits from Grayson Allen being out, so that's the big news here. I know it's not a big name, but he's the starter there. Plays 25 plus minutes per game, so that does give minutes to go around for guys like Desmond Bain, guys like DeAnthony Melton. So I don't mind these two guys. Either site, Melton is 4.3 on FanDuel. DraftKings, he's a little cheaper at 3.9K. And then Bain is the minimum on FanDuel and 3.2 on DraftKings. So if Bain gets the start, I think he's going to be one of the best value plays on this slate. If Melton gets the start, he's going to be one of the best. So it's going to be those two guys if I am playing the Grizzly. They have a pretty big or pretty high implied team total here at 118, just because the spread is so large at 13 points. So, they're going to score a lot of points. So I do have interest in these value guys from the Grizzlies.
Got it. Next game up, we have Portland against Brooklyn. You're flying through these games, Chris. Like you're very black and white here. It's like you like a team, you don't like a team. There's been a few teams that you don't like so far.
Yeah, so I think we've pretty much, like, the only team I've liked so far is Washington, and I don't really like them too much other than Westbrook. So I think we're getting into the better games here. This game I love a lot that we'll talk about, and I think some of the other ones after. So, yeah.
Hopefully we'll get a Nets guys counter today, Chris. But yeah, Portland, Brooklyn is the current game we're going over. So Portland, no injuries there either. So a lot of healthy squads, Chris, near the end of the season. Kind of surprising. Projected starters, we got Dame Lillard, CJ McCollum, Norm Powell, Rocco, and Nurkic. Anything here, Chris, on the Blazers facing the Nets today?
Yeah, so like I said, this is the highest over-under by far. Currently at 242. Next highest is, 229, I think, with the Wizards game. So, yeah, this one's a lot better. Portland's favored by 2.5, so they're going to have the highest implied team total on the slate. It's at 122 right now. Really good matchup. Similar to the Wizards, they're fighting for a playoff spot right now, so that means that we know that their main guys are going to get a lot of minutes. Last two games, they've been in blowouts, so they blew Indiana out, and then they blew Memphis out. So if you're looking at the game logs, that's why minutes have been lower. But I do have a lot of interest here. We have Damian Lillard for 8K on FanDuel. DraftKings, he's 9.2, so obviously he's more interesting for me on FanDuel. Really like him in cash games, tournaments as well. I think he's a super solid piece. CJ McCollum, I think he's a decent play here as well in this matchup against the Nets. He's 7.7K on FanDuel, 8-1 on DK, so I like him. Covington, 4-9 on FanDuel. So that's a really cheap price tag. I think I mentioned it 2 games ago. It's a good buy low spot for him. Love the matchup here. In a close game, he's going to play upwards of 38, 39 minutes. So that's why I'm interested in Roko, Nurkic. He's probably going to be like the tournament guy here. 7.1K on DraftKings, 7-7 on FanDuel. So I don't think you can get there in cash games, but I think in tournaments he has a lot of upside. We've seen him have giant games against Memphis recently. This is a really good matchup against the Nets for him. So I like Nurkic here, especially if the game stays close. Like I said, if you're looking at the game log, he's only played 20 minutes in each of his last 2 games, and that's because of the blowouts. So if you give him the fourth quarter run, he would get to 30, like he has in the Memphis game. So I like him a lot. I think he's very sneaky today. And then Norm Powell, probably tournament only for me. 6-5 on FanDuel, so that's a little expensive. 6-3 on DK, still a little expensive. So it's probably my least favorite guy here, but I've interest in the main guys for sure.
I sort of like that Nurkic sneaky play because, as you said, didn't get there fantasy-wise because of the blowout, not because he was playing poorly. But the price did regress regardless, so it seems like a good slot for him.
You can see he scored 32 points in 19 minutes in that game against Indiana, and then 30 points in 21 minutes against Memphis in their latest game. And he didn't play the fourth quarter in those. If he played the fourth quarter, that's 9 extra minutes. That puts him at 29, like he's played in those 2 big games where he scored 50+. So, great matchup here against the Nets as well.
Yep, against the Nets guys. Let's go over those guys. So we got KD out, Claxton out. I actually got a Claxton top shot, Chris. I think it's like a limited edition Claxton top shot as well. Assist from James Harden, so it's a nice one. I also got like a nice number on it too. Chris Chiozza out, and then Bruce Brown also out. Kyrie Irving probable. Blake Griffin also probable. Projected starters: Kai Irving, Shamet, Harris, Green, and Jordan. Who do you like, Chris, on the Nets today?
Yeah, so this is my favorite team to target today. We have a great game environment. We have injuries here. We have guys resting. We have cheap guys, so ton of interest here in the Nets. Kyrie Irving, obviously my favorite play on the entire slate, really. I would have put him on the thumbnail if I knew he was playing yesterday when I made it, but he was obviously, we didn't know if he was going to play today. But yeah, he's playing 9-8 on FanDuel. Just way too cheap here. 9-4 on DK. Just way too cheap for this role against Portland. We know Portland doesn't play much defense. Nets here are implied to score 119. So I expect a lot of that to come from Kyrie Irving. He's going to be very high owned. I just don't think you need to fade him. Just in way too good of a spot to fade him. So I love Kyrie. He's my favorite play on the entire slate on both sites, both formats. And then we have some value guys here as well. So Alize Johnson, the guy we were talking about, he's the minimum on FanDuel for 3.5. DraftKings, they have him at 3K, so he's the minimum over there as well. They gave him 32 minutes last game. I'm not sure if it was because it was against Indiana. I think it was his first game against Indiana. Obviously, he was a rookie for them last year. So I'm not sure if it was because of that. But still, I think it's a good situation. Like I said when Austin asked the question before, everyone's going to play him. If he doesn't play well, it's not going to hurt you. So I think you just play him here. Even if he's not starting, I think he's a really solid play. Just had a monster game yesterday, so I kind of want to chase that for the minimum. I think it's viable here for sure against the Portland Blazers. I think he could have another big game. So he's my second favorite net just because of his price tag. And then we have Landry Shamet once again. I played him yesterday. He's 4.5 on FanDuel now, so they priced him up a little bit. On DraftKings, he's 3.9, so that's where I like him more. He's going to get the start, going to play 30-plus minutes, so I think he's a decent value option here against the Portland Trail Blazers. So I like him in cash games. And then guys like Joe Harris, Jeff Green, Blake Griffin, Tyler Johnson, Mike James, I don't really want to play them. They're all kind of priced up, more expensive. Whereas Shamet and Alize Johnson are pretty cheap, and then Kyrie's the obvious play. So if I had to pick my top three here. I would say Kyrie 1, Alizé 2, and then Sham at 3.
Oh, you just said Alizé, then Alizé.
I meant Alizé.
Alizé? Alizé.
Alizé.
Yeah. Your boy Brandon probably likes this Alizé play with the game log, Chris.
Probably.
But are you saying the reason he's popular today is just because he had a good game? Is that it?
No, they have a ton of injuries. He played 32 minutes last game. He's minimum price on both sites in the best game environment. So, yeah, he's going to be popping for everyone.
Okay, got it. We got Lamano in here. Says, what's up, y'all? What's up? Good to see you.
We also got LaMelo questionable tomorrow.
Yeah, is he back? He's coming back, actually.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, and you were laughing at me before. I remember I was getting... I was getting some heat for that, saying that he's going to be back, that maybe that doctor had it wrong. Everyone was saying shut him down for the year, too risky. But yeah, he's back. Who's
They
laughing now, Chris?
They said they were going to shut him down.
They did?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, not me though. I didn't say that. So getting the last laugh here. Yeah, next game, Chris, Milwaukee, Chicago. Let's go over Milwaukee. So Axel Toupane, questionable. Giannis, doubtful. Projected starters, Drew Holiday, Dante DiVincenzo, Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Actually, he's doubtful, but I'm not sure. Brook Lopez. If Giannis sits, Chris, is it OG Bobby Portis in there?
Yeah, most likely. He actually was coming off the bench for some games that Giannis sat. But either way, he would be in play.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, who do you like here on Milwaukee with Giannis most likely sitting here?
I mean, it really depends on that news. The spread suggests that Giannis is going to sit. Milwaukee is only favored by 1 point against the Bulls. I think if Giannis was playing, it would be like Milwaukee by 7 or 8. Maybe not that much, but still, I think it suggests he's going to sit today. He's currently questionable, I believe, on the injury report. We're probably going to get it in 15 minutes once the official injury report comes out. But yeah, we'll have to wait for that. And then we'll make our decisions then. I mean, if Giannis does miss the game, Middleton, Drew, Portis, they're all going to be locks just because they're all priced as if Giannis is playing. Get a really good matchup here against the Bulls. So, I mean, just easy plays here if Giannis does sit. If Giannis plays, I don't want to play anyone here.
Okay. And he's also doubtful, so usually doubtful is...
Oh, is he doubtful?
Yeah, I have him as doubtful here.
Yeah. Well, let me see the official injury report. Is that what you're looking at?
Actually, no. I'm not sure, actually. I don't think there is... No, just because we have out from last game. That's the latest news we have.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the 1:30 injury report. They haven't submitted their injury report yet, so they're the only team on the entire slate today that hasn't submitted their injury report. So I assume we're going to get it in 15 minutes.
Maybe they're getting their bets in. Then
Maybe.
put Giannis, say Giannis is in, place some bets. If that was the case, Chris, what kind of bets would you place?
If he was in,
Yeah.
I would place some bets on the Bucks to win. I would place a bet on the spread. I would do all that good stuff.
Yeah, that's probably what they're doing if he does play. But yeah, Chicago side, Chris, Vooch, probable. Zach LaVine still out. Troy Brown Jr. out. Projected starters, Kobe White, Garrett Temple, Pat Williams, Daniel Tice, and Nikola Vucevic. Anything here, Chris?
Yeah, so I have interest in the Bulls here as well. Tight game and tight spread. I mean, so it's a decent game environment. The Bulls are pretty much in the 12 seed, I think, right now. So they're fighting for playoff positioning. They're trying to get into that play-in game. So that makes me like Vucevic a lot. He's 9K on FanDuel. DraftKings, he's always a little more expensive. He's currently 10.1K over there. I'd rather just spend 100 extra and go to Embiid on DK. But I think on FanDuel for 9K, Vucevic is definitely in play. One of my favorite plays, honestly, at center on FanDuel. I think he's the guy that you're going to most likely get to in cash games. So I like him a lot. And then if you want to play another Bull, I think Thaddeus Young is kind of interesting. He had a stretch where he was only playing like minutes in the teens But the last two games, they played him 26 2 games ago, 29 last game. So when this guy gets minutes, he always crushes. Very good point per minute guy, gets you stocks, assists, rebounds, scores. So he's very good, I think. I definitely don't mind him here on this slate. Just as a last piece guy, 5.3 on FanDuel for him. On DraftKings, he's a little cheaper, 5.1K. So I don't mind Thad Young, but he's going to be probably one of my last pieces in both on both sites, just because I think he's decent value here.
Okay. We also have the OG Bobby Portis revenge narrative, Chris, for Chicago. That's where he took out Mirotic, fractured his face or something like that in practice.
Yeah, I love that narrative. So I mean, if Giannis is out, Portis is going to be a lock.
Yep. Sean says, I have 5.3K salaried left. What's the best play with that? Is it Covington, Robert Williams, or someone else on DK? I could just put the filter up, Chris. We can take a look here for Deshaun.
Yeah, let's do it. 5.3. I assume it's util because you named a few different positions. So 5.3. Thad Young. You have Thad Young there. Rocco, he mentioned. Robert Williams. I would say Thaddeus Young. He's also the highest projected ownership guy here. Obviously, if you go lower, you have other guys like Shamit, who's viable. Alize Johnson. But I think if you're in that range, I would go with Thad Young first, probably Rocco second, and then Williams third.
Williams seems like the tournament one, 2% here.
Yeah, I can't play him. I mean, he's coming off the bench. He only played 16 minutes last game, so it's clear that Brad Stevens likes Tristan Thompson over him.
Yes. Okay, next up we have Utah against Phoenix. So let's go over the Jazz first. We got Mike Conley out. D-Mitch out, Spida. We got Udoka Azubuk out, and then we have Royce O'Neal questionable, projected starters, cover boy today. Jingle Joe, Royce O'Neal, Boyan Bogdanovic. How do you say this guy's name? Niang. How do you say his name, Chris?
George
Niang. Rudy Gobert as well, all projected to start. Do you like anyone on the Jazz, Chris?
Yeah, so it's not a great matchup here against the Suns. It's not one that we usually like to target. But I have some interest here. So Ingles, I think on FanDuel, he's in play. He's 5.8K over there. DraftKings, them at 7K. Like I said, I put him on the cover yesterday because he was the guy that I knew would be popping on FanDuel. If I could remake it, I would put Kyrie on it, but I made it yesterday before that news came out. But still, Ingles is a great play on FanDuel for 5.8K. He got the start last game. Clarkson was on the bench. So I think they're going to run the same starting lineup here. Again, if the game stays close like it's projected to, Ingles should smash on FanDuel for 5.8. DraftKings, I don't think you need him for 7K. I think that's where he should be in this role. Clarkson is 7.3 on DK, so you don't need him there either. If you want to play him, do it on FanDuel for 6.3K. Don't mind Clarkson there as the last piece for 6.3, but like I said, he didn't get the start last game, so I don't love that. If he's starting, then he would be more viable. So we'll have to wait and see who they end up starting, but I think it's going to be the same as last game. I think they're going to start Ingles at the 1. And then Niang is the guy that they actually started last game as well. So I don't mind him for value on DK. He's 3.4K over there. FanDuel has him at 4K. We have other guys there like Alize Johnson, Rocco, Thad Young, Bobby Portis if Giannis sits. So I don't think you need to go to Niang on FanDuel, but I think on DK, he's definitely a great play there for 3-4. Like I said, he got the start last game, played 26.5 minutes, 31 fantasy points. His previous start against the Thunder, he played 34 minutes, got 40 fantasy points. So this guy's a beast whenever he starts. Not going to hurt you, I don't think. He gets it done multiple ways. He rebounds well. Also, he shoots a lot of threes, so I like that on DK as well. A really good price tag. So he's my value guy on DK, and then my favorite one on FanDuel is Ingles.
Okay. Phoenix side, we have Jay Crowder, questionable, Super Dario Saric, probable. Projected starters, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Bridges, Crowder, and Ayton. Chris Paul scorched Rajon Rondo recently, Chris. Anyone in play on Phoenix today?
Yeah, I have some interest in the Suns here. like I think this is a big game that both teams will get up for. So I think it's a game where starters could play more minutes. We have Devin Booker at a pretty cheap price tag on FanDuel, 7.5K. He hasn't been playing great recently, so that's why it's kind of lower than it's been in the past week or past few weeks. He's been around 8.5 to 9K. Now we have him for 7.5, so I don't mind him on FanDuel. I think he's a decent last piece guy. Pretty volatile, that's the problem. He's very scoring reliant, doesn't do much else. But I like him a lot. Like I said, I think this is a game that they're going to get up for, so I think it's a game where he could play extra minutes. So he's going to be probably the only guy I'm interested in. Maybe on DK, you also have DeAndre Ayton for 6.5. Don't hate that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not too interested in this team, but don't mind Booker or Ayton as last pieces.
Okay, moving on to the next game. We have the Sacramento Kings against Phoenix. Let's see. So, yeah, Sacramento first. We'll go over them. So we got De'Aaron Fox. Sorry, Sacramento against LA. I think I said Phoenix. Not sure why. Kings against the Lakers. So Sacramento, De'Aaron Fox out, Harrison Barnes out, Woodard out, and then Marvin Bagley is probable projected starters. Halliburton, Hield, Harkless, Bagley, and Holmes. Anything on the Kings side, Chris?
Not too much. I don't love this game. Bad matchup for the Kings. They just got killed by the Utah Jazz by 50 last game. Halliburton, I guess he's viable in tournaments. Can't do it in cash games. He's 6'9" on FanDuel, 7'4" on DraftKings. So I don't mind him. But he's probably the only guy I'm interested in. Maybe Metu if he ends up starting, but Bagley's probable. So yeah, Metu is definitely not going to start since Bagley is in. Yeah, there's really nothing here for me.
Okay, let's go over the Lakers. So we have Dennis Schroeder probable, AD probable, Gasol probable, KCP probable, Dudley still out, Chris. So that kind of hurts. Not really. Caruso questionable, and then the big one here, LBJ is questionable. So maybe he'll play, maybe he won't. We don't know. Projected starters: Schroeder, Caldwell Pope, James, Davis, and Drummond. And then I guess if James isn't there, it would be Schroeder, KCP, Kuzma, Davis, and Drummond. What do you think is going to happen today, Chris, with James? It's the last game of the slate as well.
I think he's going to play here. Probably going to play like 10, 15 minutes here, maybe 20. So I have no interest in these guys. It's a good matchup against the Kings, but I think this is a game where the Lakers can blow them out by like 20, 25 points early in the game. So they're going to be cautious with their starters. So I don't want to play AD or LeBron James, and those two are the main guys that I really play on the Lakers when they're healthy. So nothing here for me.
Okay. So then if LeBron's in, Chris, anything for tournaments here or not really? Or just would that LeBron being in kind of lessen your interest in tournaments? Anyone on the Lakers?
Maybe Drummond or Davis. They could get there with stocks game if the game stays close, but I don't know. I just don't think it does.
Okay. Let's go over three pillars then, Chris. Start with FanDuel. Overall play of the day here. Favorite play, safest in cash and tournaments. Who's your guy today? Is it Kyrie?
Yeah, I'll go with Kyrie Irving.
Okay, and then value, who do you have on FanDuel?
I'll go Alize Johnson on the Nets.
Alize Johnson. Tournament play of the day, who do you have?
Go Yusuf Nurkic just because I don't think anyone's going to play him. He's been playing very well ever since his restriction has been lifted, so I like him.
I like that one too. Now on DK, Chris, overall play there, who's your guy?
Going to be the exact same thing for all three slots here on DK.
Okay, well, yeah, we got it. So Kyrie, overall play, value play, Alize, and then tournament Nurkic. Let's go over your cores then on FanDuel. So you got Kai Irving, Jingle Joes, and then Alize Johnson. Just a quick recap, Chris. I think T-Bay just got in here as well. So anyone who just joined, why do you like these guys as core plays over on FanDuel today?
So the Brooklyn game has the best game environment in terms of over-under. It's the highest by far at 242 right now. Next highest is 229. So there's going to be a lot of points scored there. Kevin Durant is out today. Kyrie is back in, so I expect Kyrie to have the main guy role. Just going to have a big night, I think. Alize Johnson had a big night last night, played 32 minutes. Minimum price on both sides, so I like him. And then Ingles here. He's the guy that he's probably going to fall out of my core if we got the Giannis news soon. I'm going to put the Bucks guys in there. But I still like him a lot on FanDuel here.
Okay. And then which lineups would you like to go over today, Chris?
Let's take a look at the... I think that Giannis sits, so let's take a look at the second and third.
Just because these have more bucks, right?
Yeah, we can also bump up Bobby Portis. I'm at like 29. Because, I mean, if Giannis sits, Portis is going to have a very high projection, so I think it would be around there. So, yeah, let's take a look at these. Let's take a look at the second and third one now. Second and third, sorry.
Oh, sorry. You did say that's my bad. There we go.
Yeah, because the first one, it didn't have Drew, and we didn't change Drew's projection. But if Giannis sits, his projection is going to go up. Like I said, Giannis is going to, or I think Giannis is going to sit, so that's why I kind of want to build with that in mind. So yeah, just a 1v1 here, like you highlighted. I'll go over the rest of the players first. Kyrie, locked him in. Drew, he would be in my core if we got the news that Giannis is out. Same as Middleton, same as Portis. They would be in my core. Tyrese here, last piece, 6'9". Like I said, it's not a great matchup, but no Fox, so I don't mind that as a last piece. Ingles, 5'8", really good price tag for him. Alize Johnson, 3'5", I like that. And then Jarrett Allen, 6'8", really good price tag for him as well against the Wizards. We saw him go for 60 against them a few days ago, so I like him. And then just a 1v1 here, CJ versus D-Book. I'll go CJ all day just because he's playing against the Nets. I have a few Nets here. I like using him as a bringback. Like I said, that's the best game environment on the slate. So, yeah, I like the first side here.
Nice. I like it too. Should we bump up Portis on DK, Chris, for now?
Yeah, we can bump up the other guys as well on DK, Drew and Middleton.
Okay. And then to all the crunchers out there, Chris, did they need to bump it up, or what would you tell them?
Oh, no, I just want to bump it up now because we don't... Oh, we got the news now, so we can bump it up, yeah.
Yeah, what do you want these ones?
I'm going to add them to my core, so you won't have to bump them up. Just give me 1 sec. We also have Dante out.
Nice. Yeah, I was just going to say that if you are a cruncher, these projections would update automatically for you. Don't have to refresh the page or anything. And like Chris said, we're just bumping it up early now just because we don't have the news yet, so we don't want to do it like officially. But
we got the news.
Yeah, we didn't have it like a minute ago is what I'm saying. But now that we have it, projections will update, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, so let me add to my core. We don't have to change the FanDuel one because we looked at the build with all 3 of them. Let me do DraftKings here real quick. Yeah, so you can lock Middleton, Drew, and Portis as well.
Are you adding them or no?
Yeah, I just want to see how the builds look if I bump them up to where they're going to be first because I haven't built like that yet. So yeah, so Portis, I think he's a little more difficult to get to on DK because he's 5.5K, but still a really good play, especially if he's starting. We can lock them all 3 in and see what we get here.
Okay, so I locked in Irving, Alize, sorry, and then Drew, Chris, and Bobby.
Yeah, so yeah, let's take a look at the first 2. I think it's a 1v1 here. But at the same time, I don't know if these guys are locks here because they're priced higher. You can't get Westbrook. As you can see, we're not getting any Westbrook. Let's get rid of Portis here. Let's keep Drew, keep Middleton, but let's get rid of Portis. I think we can get some Westbrook then.
Okay.
So I like this a lot more.
Pardon?
said I like this a lot more.
Okay. Westy. Let's go over the chat quickly while finishes building. T-Bay says, so is Greek confirmed to be out today? He is. Yes, now he is. He wasn't like a minute ago, but now he is. And I think also we got LBJ probable today. So before he was questionable, so upgraded to probable. So that's points more to the direction of him playing. And then Hasty says, Bobby Portis is a psycho. Once said in an interview that he pictures his opponents punching his mom in the face before each game gets him in the right headspace. Lols.
Yeah, in the right headspace. That's I don't know.
Wait, isn't that normal? Doesn't everyone do that when they play sports?
I definitely don't do that. No.
But yeah, you like these ones more, Chris, because I'm assuming you're getting Westy, right?
Yeah, I mean, if Portis is announced starting, then I would be more interested in him, but we don't know yet. Obviously, the projections will update, so you have to keep an eye out for that. Still have a lot of time before the slate starts. But yeah, let's look at these two. I think it's just I think it's a 1v1 here as well. But we have Westbrook in both, 11K. I like that price tag. Bane 3-2. I expect him to get the start here in place of Grayson Allen, Alizé Johnson. He's a lock. Brandon Clark. I like him for 3-8 with Jaren Jackson out. Kyrie, Middleton, and Drew, all really good plays. And then the 1v1 here, Shamet versus Melton. I like Shamet just because he's in that great game environment. If Melton is starting, I'll go with Melton. But like I said, I think they're going to start Bane.
Okay. Yeah, like you said, projections will update for all the crunchers. Just kind of preemptively updating them now. Just so we have it in time for this segment for this show. But yeah, let's go over the single game slate here for Royal. Is Royal King in here? Haven't seen him actually. Oh yeah, he is in here. My bad. Which one do you think Royal King wants to go over, Chris?
Not the Milwaukee one. Let's look at the last game.
This one's going to be interesting because LeBron is back. AD is playing, but it's not going to be a close game, right? It shouldn't be.
Yeah, I don't think it will be.
So, I mean, you might honestly, I don't know. Like, if someone on the Kings does well, then maybe the game would be closer, and then maybe AD would still be the best play there. But if it blows out, it would be because of someone like AD. Probably not so much LeBron. If I had to guess, he's on a minutes limit. And then it would just be AD on the Lakers. But so maybe AD. Would you consider fading AD from MVP here?
I mean, to get to who? That's the question.
My boy Andre Drummond.
I mean, AD is just miles better than Drummond. So it's, I don't know. I don't think you can do it. I think you just go AD.
And then what here?
I mean, maybe LeBron at MVP. I don't think many people will do that. Maybe they'll play him 24, 28 minutes. Obviously, he can fill the stat sheet out very quickly. I think that could be interesting.
Yeah, I kind of like that one. What if you just got rid of, or you made a rule so you'd only have one of AD or LeBron in your lineup?
I don't know why that would be necessary, because if AD is playing well, then it's likely LeBron is playing well. You know what I mean?
I guess. What if we just got more Kings, Chris?
Why would we get more Kings, though?
I don't know. So I guess go with the chalk here. Eat the chalk, lock the chalk.
I mean, there's different strategies. Like, if you want to play some of the blowout guys, then you could change the projections up. But if you're just playing more Kings, you're going to get the starters because they project the best. So if it blows out, I mean, you're screwed anyways.
Does Tyrese still get blowout run?
He did a little bit last game. I think he got 4 minutes, or at least I think 6 minutes.
So maybe
when
Tyrese?
It was a 50-point game. Yeah, so I think he does.
Could we put Tyrese at MVP? But then then what would you think? AD, most likely, what do we have him projected for? 40 something?
Yeah, 41.
Yeah, 41. I mean, I could see Tyrese, if he had a ceiling game, he could outscore AD. But if he did have that ceiling game, the game would be closer than a blowout, right?
Yeah, and then if it's a closer game, it's likely that
Then AD would play
will
more.
beat him. Yeah, so I don't know. I like AD. I think AD is the safest one there.
Yeah, maybe AD and then Tyrese at the start, which is kind of what is showing up here. Definitely an interesting one. Got to think about this one, World King. Deshaun says Giannis is probable tonight, question mark. I don't think we have the injury report. Do we, Chris? Not yet? Or did we just get one?
We got one 8 minutes ago. He's out.
Oh, yeah, my bad. Giannis is out. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, we went over that. Giannis is out. Solo Diaz in here. What's up? He says, yo, told you guys Alize Johnson revenge game.
Yeah, actually he did yesterday. I think I said no. Why? But yeah, he went from playing, let's see what he was playing before that game.
Like 5 minutes?
So like 5 minutes. 5 minutes the game before, 6 minutes the game before that, 10 minutes the game before that. Into 32 last game. KD was just feeding him the entire game. So it was clearly, I think, because it was against the Pacers. But I'm still going to play him tonight. Like 32 minutes last night. I think they're going to play him near that today.
What happened here?
That was the first game against Utah. I think they had no one playing. I remember that day I played Bruce Brown.
He played 32 minutes here as well. Then the next day he only played 4. Our next game.
Yeah, everyone was out against Utah.
Okay. But yeah, he got that one right. Solo did. Anything else, Chris? Housekeeping time?
Yep.
Housekeeping, guys. Check out our website, our optimizer, our projections, ownership projections, fantasy point projections, all the good stuff at dfscrunch.com. Link is also in the description. If you're a new member, you can get a free 3-day trial automatically added to your subscription to your account. So you don't need a special code. You don't need a coupon code. You don't need a special link. Just go to our site, set up your account, and then the first 3 days are free. So it's just our way of letting people try out our product completely for free without any risks. So you get full access during that trial, 3 days, so 72 hours from when you sign up. You can set yourself a reminder so you can cancel in time if you want to do that. More than welcome to do that. Just try it out for free. Like I said, we have every sport, every site, FanDuel, DraftKings, all the different slates. So I think there's like 8 or 9 here today for FanDuel, for NBA alone, and then DK looks like 8 or 9 as well. So lots of stuff there. We also have NHL today, MLB today. Not sure what else we have, but Friday, it's always a good day to join because you have UFC action as well on the weekends. There's soccer as well, right, Chris? Mm-hmm. What else is there? We've got trucks. Do we have trucks? We have cars, NASCAR this weekend. Any trucks, though?
I'm not. I mean, I think there's always trucks.
Yeah. We have golf, too, but I don't think golf is now. I think it's on Thursday. I'm not sure how golf works, to be honest. But we have golf as well. So lots of stuff. You also get access to our Discord. So it's a good place to hang out, ask questions. If you need help with the optimizer, if you have questions about the settings, if you want to know something about our projections, anything like that, even stonks, Discord is the place to be. So that's only for the members, premium members. So during your trial, you get full access to everything. So no restrictions at all and no risk at all. And then if you do sign up, you can manage your account here, sidebar, bottom here, click that, click account center, and then you can cancel, you can upgrade, you can do whatever to your account over there. So that's how you cancel your account or upgrade it, whatever you want to do. You can do it yourself over there. And then I think that's it. YouTube stuff, that's important as well. If you enjoyed the content today, be sure to hit the thumbs up. We do appreciate that. It helps us get our channel discovered. So that's a lot of fun. Make sure you do that. And then other than that, subscribe, bell button and all, so you can stay notified with our content. But it's pretty straightforward. It's every day, 2.5 hours before the main slate. So weekends as well. So we'll be doing it tomorrow and Sunday as well. So every day there's an NBA slate will be live. So it just makes it easier to see our show, get notified, see it at the front of your YouTube when you go there. So make sure to do that as well. And then I think that's it. Don't see any other questions. Anything from you, Chris?
No, I'm happy we got the Giannis news now.
Yep. And LeBron.
Excited for
LeBron.
this. Yeah, LeBron too.
Yep. Any other major news we're waiting on today, Chris?
Like big names, Trae Young, but it doesn't matter for this slate. Other news, I don't really think so. I think the Giannis news was the big piece that we were waiting on. Everyone else is kind of probable. Sexton is questionable, so I guess that's kind of important. But like I said, I think he ends up playing today.
Yeah, and then on the Hawks, we got Capella available. Young still questionable. Bogdanovich still questionable. And then Snell available. Yeah, that's it. So we'll be in the Discord, guys. If you have more questions, come hang out there. If you're a new member here, new to our YouTube, try out our optimizer with that free trial. Join the Discord. We'll help you out. So, yeah, lots of stuff there. Yeah, good luck today, guys. We'll see you all tomorrow. And thanks for tuning in, as always.